Our equity market is the global leader in terms of market liquidity, market quality, and efficiency.
Got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood in my
All right, let's get started. This is the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. And in this video, we're going to talk about liquidity. What is it? You think you might know, but I promise you by the end of this video, you're going to have a new definition of liquidity, and you're going to understand how they use that phrase in front of the House Financial Committee and the Senate to get their way. All right, before we get started, let's take a look at what Google Search Labs AI Overview says liquidity is. Liquidity in stocks is a measure of how easily and quickly a stock's shares can be bought or sold in the secondary market without significantly affecting the stock's price. Very important. We cannot talk about liquidity unless we talk about the ability of liquidity to not significantly move the stock's price, which is what the natural order of supply and demand is supposed to do. Let's take a look at a few more instances of where they talk about liquidity, and then we're going to talk about it, okay? Roll that beautiful bean footage.
U.S. equity markets are the cornerstone of global finance. Our markets are the largest, best performing, and the most liquid, and have a certainty of execution. With all-time high retail investor participation and reduced commission rates, the retail experience has never been better. Market makers like GTS play a crucial role by standing ready to both buy and sell at all times, and taking on those associated market risks, which facilitates transactions through immediate liquidity.
Now that was Mr. Ari Rubenstein, okay, one of the members on the exchanges that are up there in Congress, telling them that the SEC and the CAT system is going to utterly destroy the stock market as we know it. And he says that market makers like GTS play a critical role by standing ready to both buy and sell at all times. What does he mean by that? Well, basically he's saying that if you wanted to sell your shares of Microsoft and there was nobody on the other end, there was no buyers for Microsoft, there's no interest, nobody gives a shit about Microsoft right now. So the market makers will stand up and they will put their money forward and they will purchase your shares of Microsoft even though there is no buyer for it at the time. And y'all heard old Mr. Ruby here that whenever a market maker or the exchanges buy shares that you're trying to sell and there's nobody on the other end, they take on an inherent risk that the stock could fall and they would lose money. Let me give you a better example. One that I think all of y'all would understand is Hycroft Mining. Let's say you have 1,000 shares of Hycroft Mining. You get word they're going to put Sean Goodman on the board of Hycroft. You know what they've done over there at AMC and to the stock price. You know with him coming to the board, they're probably going to do the same thing to Hycroft. So you decide sell, and you push that button. And when you do, there's nobody on the other end because nobody's interested in buying Hycroft right now. But a market maker is standing there ready at the helm, cash in hand, and said, we'll buy your Hycroft Mining stock. We'll just worry about selling it sometime in the future whenever there's an interest for the stock. Okay? That is why they love to pat themselves on the back talking about the sacrifice they make for retail investors. But that's only one side of the coin. Now let's go back and let's take a listen again about what he says.
Market makers like GTS play a crucial role by standing ready to both buy and sell at all times, and taking on those associated market risks, which facilitates transactions through immediate liquidity.
Immediate liquidity, he says, when they stand ready to buy or sell a security, all right, whether there's anybody on the other end of the trade or not. Other side of the coin, selling securities, okay? What happens when a market maker stands ready that when a retail investor hits the buy button and there's no shares to buy? Now, several things are about to happen here, all right? Let's use AMC, for example. You decide they're getting ready to kick Adam Aron's ass out of AMC, and they're bringing CSI in, and he's going to be the CEO and chairman on the board. And everybody, all the hype gets up, and everybody starts wanting to buy the stock. But there's no stock on the market to buy. So, what happens? The market maker, according to Mr. Ruby over there and all the rest of them that was on the panel, they said they will sell you 1,000 shares of AMC, even though there's not any on the market to buy. Now, let me tell you the first thing about that gets my goat, people, is that when I purchase 1,000 shares of AMC or GME or BBBYQ, all right, then they will sell me those shares. They will take the money out of my account, put it in their bank account, and they will list it under their financials as something like shares sold, not yet purchased. And in case you didn't know, Citadel had $65 billion of shares sold, not yet purchased in 2021. All right. During the meme stock frenzy, yeah, Ken Griffin sold $65 billion worth of securities he did not own. All right. And they just logged it on. It's no big deal. We'll get it whenever, like he said in an interview, if we can find one. Well, what happens to if you don't take my damn money until you got what you're supposed to give me, and then you take my money like things are supposed to be? So out of everything that is involved in this scam that they got going on with this infinite liquidity, is that they take our money and give us nothing in return, all right? Now, the next part of the hustle that they got going on here, but before I do, let me ask you this question. What exchange does AMC trade on? 99% of the people that watch this video is going to say the New York Stock Exchange. That's not accurate, all right? The New York Stock Exchange is where AMC is listed. It trades on all exchanges. Let's take a listen to what this man had to say about the exchanges, okay?
The market ecosystem has 16 exchanges and 30 trading systems that interact as a part of a dynamic and evolving ecosystem that is unparalleled.
16 exchanges and 30 alternative trading systems, people. 30 dark pools. So see, when they talk about, oh, there was 60% of the shares were sent to the dark pool, which dark pools? Because see, that's where the second part of the definition of liquidity comes into. Take a look at this. From what we now know, we look at the definition again, and we know that infinite liquidity in stocks is a measure of how easily and quickly a stock shares can be bought or sold in the secondary market. It's instant. The market makers will stand ready to buy or sell a stock without significantly affecting the stock's price. How do they do that? AMC is not just traded on the New York Stock Exchange, people. It's traded across all of the exchanges. What does that mean? Let's say, for example, we have a 30 million volume day. What they will do is they will send 1 million shares to the New York Stock Exchange, 1 million shares to the NASDAQ Exchange, 1 million shares to the GTS Exchange, and 1 million shares until it's divided out. And what happens is the price does not move significantly. All right, it's not that it doesn't move, because this is where the next part of all of their arguments come in, is best execution. Is what's happening is each exchange has a quote for AMC, and the market maker will look into all the exchanges and see which one has the best execution for that stock. And in this case, it could be GTS. So they will send 1 million shares over to GTS. When they do that, that might move the price over there on GTS by a penny. So then they will transfer the next 1 million shares over to the one that's cheaper by a penny, and they will send them shares over to that exchange. It might move the stock up a penny, which makes the other exchanges have a better rate to sell, and it just moves on and on and on and on to where it's all divided to where the stocks will only move pennies instead of how they should with the natural supply and demand. See, you have to understand that the price is controlled by volume, and if they can control the volume to all the exchanges, then they can control the price and make sure that them and their infinite liquidity doesn't significantly affect the stock's price. I'm going to go deeper into that in the next video, because that deals with the national best bid and offer and best execution, and how all that's bullshit is in the next video. So like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Love y'all. Be blessed.